Okay, anything else to go through?
Fair show,
Oh, sorry, people.
not really much to say more about that, except for, again, it just feels like they're using their reserves, and whenever they don't have those reserves, they extend the current product. And it's noticeably longer, like he was saying about the whole Shawn Michaels, Brock Lesnar, Triple H deal back then. I don't want to say that it should be short, sweet, to the point, leave some tense in the air, and move on. I'm not saying it should be like that, because that's just clinging to old ways. But it was like that for a reason, because it was tested, and it worked for all those years. I'm not saying don't fix what's not broken and attempt to improve it, but it's just not done quite right. The overall feeling of it isn't. You remember that you're watching the show rather than being in the story.
I compared to this. When I saw The Dark Knight Rises, that's a long movie. Roughly, it's probably about the same amount of time wrestling you could get. It was like 2 hours 45 minutes. Probably about the same amount of wrestling you get. That entire time, yeah, a little more. But I did not feel like that was 3 hours. I mean, I sat there and loved it every single second. You know, it really didn't feel like 3 hours had gone by. With Raw, it's kind of painful to sit through sometimes.
You do have to give the movie the fact that they've had over a year for that one 3-hour thing to perfect every bit and make it very smooth.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like,
at the same time,
I'm saying, like, if you're gonna have something very long, you need to make it like to where you kind of forget that this is really long, and you kind of get lost in it.
Like I said, I remembered I was watching the show.
Yeah. But another big issue that we both have, I call it the social media infestation of World Wrestling Entertainment. Now, I want to start by saying this. Okay. I understand we live in a digital age. Social media is a big part of society now. I understand everybody has a Facebook, everybody has a Twitter. I understand that. I'm not saying WWE shouldn't have any of this stuff. In fact, I think it's kind of a good idea.
Go with the flow, yeah.
Yeah, go with the flow. You keep in touch with your fans and whatnot. You get the fans,
voices, opinions,
the
individuals and all.
That's good. That's cool. But when you shove it down the throats
every
week,
a few times in the same one,
it's just like, okay, we get it. Which one to start about? We want to talk first. Facebook, Twitter, tout, what? We got a lot.
I want to say it's tout.
You want to say tout?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll say tout. Let's talk about Twitter. Okay. When I'm watching Raw, okay, I'm trying to sit there and watch it, and they say, follow us at Twitter at #Raw. It's like, I don't care. I just want to watch the show. And they'll say that repeatedly through the night. Follow us at #Raw, #Raw, #Raw. And at the bottom of the screen, trending now, la la la. Like, I don't care. I don't care.
I will say that saying follow us on Twitter a few times a show, number one, that keeps punching in your brain, hey, follow us, okay, I get it. You have that emotion. But at the same time, you could think, okay, it's a 3-hour show. There's going to be some people that come in and come out of it, and that, maybe they'll only see it the one time. But whenever you do go down that train of thought, you realize if they just came in for one match and left, and these aren't lined up beforehand for you to know which match is coming on when. If you're just flipping through channels and you find one and they yell follow us on Twitter, you've just seen about 10 minutes of their footage. Are you really going to follow them on Twitter and Facebook? You don't even know who they are. So,
and one interesting thing about Twitter that they're doing that I kind of like, they're trying to continue storylines like on Twitter. Like they'll have superstars like, go.
Yeah, it's an extension, I guess.
That's kind of a neat idea, and I guess you can talk about that on camera. Like so and so said this, and they show the tweet at the bottom. I guess that'd be good enough. But tell me, why do I care what Paulie D or Khloe Kardashian tweet during the night? Why do I care? Why do I care about some social media ambassador who probably doesn't give a crap about your show and they're just there because you're paying them X amount of dollars?
You don't.
Exactly.
Or
I don't.
They tweet twice during the show, and they're automatically your ambassador. That's about it.
I mean, at least Charlie Sheen was on camera. Yeah. And
he gave us goat face. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Now, one thing that bugs me about this whole Twitter, well, another thing that bugs me about this whole Twitter thing, Raw active. Okay.
Voting.
I'm cool with the fans voting for something. Granted, it's probably rigged, but still, it's you're getting your fans involved. That's good.
Rigged, cool. We're used to that for storyline purposes anyway.
Oh yeah.
In the audience, that type.
I mean, they had a pay-per-view a couple years ago, which was nothing but that, where the fans vote for the matches. Taboo Tuesday and the Cyber Sunday. Of course, they got rid of that. So, in theory, voting for things that happen on Raw is an interesting concept. But tell me, what's wrong with going to WWE.com and clicking your selection, hitting submit? Why do I need to go to Twitter and tweet my twit to WWE? And if you're gonna do this, WWE, tweet your option, tweet your choice to us. Why are you gonna make it obvious which one's gonna win? Example number one. Okay. A couple weeks ago, we had the Piper's Pit with Roddy Piper, which was just terrible. I felt so sorry for Roddy Piper. That was terrible. You had, who's going to be the guest on the Piper's Pit? Is it going to be The Miz, who is a bad guy? Is it going to be Dolph Ziggler, who is a bad guy? Or is it going to be Chris Jericho, who they're cheering for now?
Really?
And what happens? All three of them end up being on the show anyway, so what was the point of even voting for which one you want to see? They're all three going to be on there anyway.
I remember this one specifically, and this is just going straight for a sucker punch, but still. It was whenever they were going to have the Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk match, and AJ was going to be involved at some level. It was like timekeeper, commentator, something else, and then special guest referee.
I forgot about that.
Which one? Yes, I would love for her to be the timekeeper. That would be the most exciting. No.
I mean, unless she was going to jump in the ring and smack Punk with the little hammer and smack Bryan with the bell, but
I mean, that's not
the only thing I can see.
The way they were doing it, you knew she was going to be heavily involved.
Yeah, so I wonder which one was going to win.
Granted, she wasn't as involved as I thought she was going to be in the actual decision of the match, but whatever.
Yeah,
just saying the decision was obvious.
Example number 2 of why Raw Active sucks. Now, before I go into this, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant right here.
You've been doing it the whole time.
Granted. Why is CM Punk feuding with Jerry Lawler? Why? Do you know why? Because people love CM Punk, but he's supposed to be a bad guy. So what are we going to do? We're going to attempt to make him heel, right? Mm-hmm. Well, okay, we want to be a bad guy, so we're going to, make him a bad guy. But instead of actually, trying something unique, they go back to getting cheap heat. And why they make my cheap heat? This is like when The Miz, let's say,
I'm the WWE champion. I demand respect.
No, well,
I'm just saying. No, I'm just throwing this out there real quick. I hate that. It's not in the hate in a way that it makes me want to hate you.
Good point. I will get to that.
Oh my God. It's in a way that it's just annoying. You're a whiny little child. Not CM Punk. The guy's writing his.
I will get to that. I will get to that. CM Punk. Why? I was talking about cheap heat. Okay, I was talking about cheap heat. All right. What I mean by cheap heat, this is like, when we need to get a bad guy over as a heel, but we're not actually going to try to do anything, creative. We're going to take, the easy way. So what we do, like for example, let's say Raw's in New Orleans, okay? And then The Miz goes out, does his usual shtick. And somewhere he throws in, and the New Orleans Saints suck.
Oh.
Like that. Well, like they're in the...
That cheap heat.
Yeah, like they're in a big town and they just to get a boo out of the crowd, they throw in some heat against some home team. Like, that's good for like one quick boo. It's not getting anybody over as a heel. Now, I consider this whole thing with Jerry Lawler some cheap attempt to get Punk over as a heel. Punk's in the prime of his career, and he's beating up a 60-year-old man.
He's 60?
Yeah, Jerry Lawler's pretty old.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Why are you using Punk this way? Why? You know, this is the guy who was literally making WWE relevant again last summer, and now he's being reduced to crap. Now, you take about this whole respect thing. Okay. I call it a whiny heel. The heel...
Pretty much what he is.
Well, I'm saying, like, the heel who will attempt to squirm his way out of things, to talk his way out of things, cry, moan. That is not CM Punk. CM Punk, if anything, he's like, as a heel, for some reason I want to compare him to Edge.
I was actually thinking that just now.
Yeah.
But Edge wasn't exactly... He didn't even seem as whiny about it. He was just straight up, I hate you in your face.
Yeah, he whined. He tried to get himself out of the way, which, you know, some heels, probably every heel probably try to do that once or twice. But, see, here's why I can't get in the storyline at all. Why I can't get in this whole CM Punk demands respect storyline at all. The very first night they started this, after CM Punk did what he did to The Rock, the next week where he's explaining his actions. Why did he say he did this? Because people kept stealing the spotlight from him. He's the WWE champion. He deserves the spotlight, which, you know, is true because, I don't know, he's the WWE champion. Or do you just not care about your title anymore? So what happens? Later in the night, when he's, you know, talking about this, talking about how he wants respect because nobody, you know, he's being pushed aside and whatnot. What happens? John Cena and Big Show come out, start fighting, and Punk's like over there somewhere. You morons, just prove them right. That
immediately.
You like that. Within 5 minutes, you prove them right.
Which doesn't do you very much good for trying to put him over as a heel.
And you're literally trying to play it straight, like, no, Punk, you're wrong. You're yada yada yada. It's like, no.
If it was anybody but John Cena on the other side of that, it would have gone the other way around.
No, it wouldn't. I still had the same reaction. No, you want...
No, not your reaction. I'm talking about the general reception by the fans, because all everybody knows is we must cheer all hail John Cena. But if they had somebody else on the other side of that, it would... I mean, right now, they're still cheering for CM Punk, but it would be even more so if they had somebody else on the other side, I will say that.
Well, yeah, I mean... I lost my train of thought.
You had one?
Yeah, I was going on tangents there. I was going and...
Not on a tangent. Anyway.
It's like... Okay, I'm back. How could I get in the storyline? You proved Punk right. And what's the essence of a face versus heel storyline? You can't just directly prove one guy right.
The whole point is the tension.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what keeps it going.
We may think one guy's right, but still, you know, there's a point to it. Tension. You know, you actually want to see their match because you want to know how it's going to turn out. I don't want to know how it's going to turn out because if John Cena beats Punk at Night of Champions, it's going to be BS because you proved CM Punk right.